So away we go. Um, Good evening. This is the virtual village, as we've called it. It is our 7th virtual community meeting. We had our first one in May, and this format has gone really well. I think it's great to see you all like virtually. I appreciate that many of us go through Zoom fatigue after a full day at work, and so thank you for spending your time with us on these Monday evenings. The agenda this evening is relatively short. There are a few important things on there that we'd like to get through. I'm going to go ahead and jump in and share the deck. I'm going to get to Commissioner Lipski quickly after just a few sort of introductory things for everyone else. Everybody had a good weekend, I hope?
Yes.
All right, so there it is, share screen. It's not like the 8th Zoom meeting I've had today or anything. Okay, so here is the deck for tonight. Tonight's November 9th, Virtual Village meeting. My name is Eric Hoffman. I'm the president of the Village Neighborhood Association for 2020. These are our board members. We have a wonderful board, and I'm really kind of excited about what we've been able to do. We have made some significant headway on certain development projects that we've collectively fought, and I just want to thank everyone that's on the board for their time and for their commitment, because I think we've got a really great group. All right, this is the agenda for tonight. As we've done since May, the first agenda item are COVID-19 updates. Yay! COVID-19 updates are things that the city are doing, and of course we had a new one today with Governor Murphy's latest rollback, let's call it, in some of the openings. I'm going to do briefly just talk about a couple things that are in the Jersey City initiatives and updates category, and then we would like to turn it over and hear from our newest freeholder, Commissioner Lipski, and sort of understand what does that mean, and how whatever she would like to talk about, you can talk about. Development updates. There are 2 projects that I would like to just talk about. One is the Brunswick Lofts. That is the end of our lawsuit, our litigation. So I just want to talk about that. And then 201 Newark is a very pie in the sky project that is out there that I want to just show you, just so you are not taken aback if this ever ends up on Jersey Digs or something like that, because it's a bit of a stunner for a number of reasons. And then we'll do our virtual meeting updates, wherein we show you the city calendar and our open forum. So again, the Village Neighborhood Association, our job is to inform. We're here to protect, we're here to fight for you. So in the open forum, I want to hear from anybody about anything that they have. I will say that we did, it's not on my agenda here, but it just popped up in my head when we talk about advocating for the community. So the Safe Streets initiative that the city has conducted, wherein they've asked us to turn in all the data for the village. Where do we think we need stop signs? Where do you think we need stop lights? So that has been submitted to the city. And I can assure you, you could not name an intersection that we didn't include in that, because ultimately this goes to traffic and engineering, and they're going to decide, where that goes. And then additionally, there was a petition for speed hump on First Street right here, because this has become like, a racing alley. There literally are cars that, drag race on each other's bumpers when they whip around Marcellus, and it's kind of scary with all the children that are on the street. So that was an independent petition, which ended up in my hands because the guy that was advocating for it was new to the community, didn't know anyone, he didn't want to go door to door, which I get it. During COVID, nobody really wants to go door to door, even when times are normal. So I took it upon myself to reach out to those and focus mostly on First Street, because I felt like it'd be more powerful if the 30 signatures that you needed were all people on First Street. So we did that. We got 32 and we turned it in. So we'll see. That is with the city. All right, and with that, COVID-19 updates. So Governor Murphy rolled out some new restrictions today that you have likely heard about. They're pretty straightforward, and they're actually quite few. So what we are now being told or being asked to do is pretty straightforward. So it's kind of, here it is on my screen from his tweet. So indoor dining will stop at 10 p.m. At all restaurants, bars, clubs, and lounges. And the other piece of that is sitting at a bar is going to be prohibited for a while. So New York, you saw places like Barcade or others where you could sit at a bar and they had built this great plexiglass, armature that you could sit in your little zone. That goes away. So this is very much like New York City, where sitting at a bar didn't exist and still hadn't been opened up. So that's relative to indoor dining. And then they're, of course, also saying that, the capacity needs to stay at 25%. There is another restriction in there that is relative to youth sports, where the youth sports teams are not allowed to play games where they travel to go play somebody else. So hoping that, this isn't a long-term rollback, but that's where we stand. So, and I'll just sort of show you this. Now, for those of you that have been on these meetings since May, you'll remember the graph that I always pull up, which is from that tableau. And the tableau are, of course, the number of cases in Jersey City. And this is the first time that, we're seeing, you can look, when we first started looking at this, things were looking good and they were just so good for so long. And now you can sort of really see visually in a graph, when we're here at this 82 case level, we're back right to where we were when we shut down, right? There it is in April 27th, a month after the shutdown when we started to control the numbers. So I think they're doing the right thing. This is about getting this spike back under control and trying to get people to act a little bit more responsibly. I know, I get it. We all want it to be over, but it isn't. That's the simple fact of the matter. So that's where we stand. Testing. We went to the Finger Lakes this past weekend with 2 other families, and we went to the testing center on Marin on Monday morning, and all the adults got tested. We did, in fact, get our results within 72 hours as advertised. And so we all went and spent the weekend in a house where we felt very comfortable because everybody had a negative test. So Marin Boulevard is still active for the PCR, the nasal swab test. It doesn't appear from this that, the city's doing the antibody test anymore. They're just doing the nasal swab at Marin. And at another location in Manila, but you'll see here, and this is the city's guide to where you can get tested. CityMD offers both. Quest Diagnostics offers both, as does Prompt MD, which most insurances will cover these. And you probably know people that live in other jurisdictions, other cities, other states. It's not as easy to get tested, elsewhere. My mother's in Southern California and she wanted to get tested so she could go see my sister for Thanksgiving, and they would not test her because she does not have symptoms. So, that's a real shame, but it's a result of the fact that they just don't have enough tests. They can't do it. So we're lucky that we've contracted with the lab and we're able to get this done. Jason, you're asking about the new mobile testing lab on Jersey Ave? No, I have no idea. There's a fancy RV at Jersey and Newark. It's Prestige Medical. I don't know.
I know what it is. It's HDSID in conjunction with Healthier JC. However, it blocks the pedestrian walkway as well as takes up much of the it blocks the stop sign from, like, the cars can't see it. So I spoke to Councilman Solomon, and they're going to have to move that from that area.
Got it. Thank you for that.
Evelyn, do you know if they're going to try to put it somewhere else nearby and just find a place where it's not blocking stuff? Or
yes, hopefully
anywhere on Columbus Drive would probably be fine.
They're going to put it nearby, and hopefully it doesn't block the newly erected stop sign or sit in a pedestrian walkway. So, but somewhere nearby.
Yeah, I think it's awesome to have another testing spot that's kind of closer to us here in the village. So just was interested if anybody used it. So thanks for that.
Sure.
Okay, so 2 more. These are both relatively new. So Mask Up JC is a new city initiative that you're going to be seeing quite a bit about. For those of you that don't know what that is, I'm just going to show you. Where did it go? Nope, wrong one. There we go. Okay, Mask Up JC is a kind of press. It's a press campaign It's about, awareness. It's about safety. And as I'll just flip through this really quickly. So, there are posters that you're going to start to see all around the city. They're going to be on all the kiosks. They have a printout of this available for businesses to post this in their business. And then there is a residential mailer, which it appears the intent is to issue one of these to each resident of Jersey City. And they will include, 5 surgical masks with the hashtag MaskUpJC logo on it. A nicely graphically designed sticker on the face of that, a letter from the mayor. And again, the message here is to help slow the spread. So here you can see the sign that's available for businesses. So nice to see the level with which, we are taking this seriously, and you're going to start to see this blue imagery all over the city in every ward, in every district. So that seems like a really good thing. And then the COVID Alert NJ app, are you guys aware of this one? Has anybody used it or on it? Besides me? I got on it today, so don't feel bad.
I'm on it.
Yeah, so it's a cool thing. What it is it's an app, and you sign up for the app. And what it ends up doing, sorry, I'm looking for that tab that I had pre-prepared. What it ends up doing is it tracks you. So obviously, if you're super nervous about people tracking your behavior, this isn't going to be the app for you. Contact tracing apps are not going to be for you, but this is for the greater good of the community and of society as a whole, really, if you are willing to do it. It will, so in New Jersey, if you test positive, you tell the app, I tested positive. And the app is going to tell other people that based on your GPS that you have spent more than 15 minutes with. They're going to get a notification that says you spent 15 minutes with someone that tested positive for COVID-19. And it works in both directions. So if you didn't know it, or they didn't know it, it seems like a good thing that you would want to be aware of. So you can go get tested and figure that out, right? So that's literally just an app on your phone. Apologies, let me just do this real quick. There's mask up. So the app is here, right there.
And Eric, to add to that,
Yep.
Apple has launched an exposure alert system with the new iOS. I think it's iOS 14. So if you actually go into your settings app, click on exposure notifications, and it'll ask you to enter in your location. It'll let you download, it'll take you to the New Jersey app there. And even better, it'll tie into the New Jersey app, and it'll automatically let you know if you've been near somebody who's tested positive.
Very cool. So this is just a description of that. Again, you guys see how I get to all this stuff. It's jcnj.org. That's the city's website. The banner in the front is always the sort of things that are front and center. Unfortunately, the first 2 images are white, so you don't notice that there are 2 little arrows in the bottom right, but you can just kind of go hover to that and you'll be able to click through the sort of primary issues with the city. Okay, so that is all I wanted to get through up front. There is, again, the testing sites. Oh, shoot, this will be quick. Jersey City initiatives and updates. So the trash pickup, we know the city recontracted with the only contractor that bid on the job. And it's now changed. It has now changed the timing of it. So it is now 10 till 8. Hey, ladies, please. If you haven't taken your trash out, go take your trash out. Sorry, my kids are having a good time here playing a game with their mom. COVID world, right? Okay, Liberty State Park. So Liberty State Park has a, I'm going to pull this up. It's a 30% design initiative. If you're not aware of this, you can go find this. There is a survey that they want you to take. So I brought this page up, which shows the beginning of the survey. And essentially what's happening is that, there's that center portion of Liberty State Park that is being remediated. It's been fenced off for decades. And, when the remediation process has been completed, they want to know, like, what do people want to see in there? So this is really about that. How often you go, what are you interested in seeing? So I encourage you to, you can link to this again through the jcnj.org website. jump on there and fill out this survey, which again is going to inform the city about the program, program in the architectural design sense. Like, is it passive recreation? Are there buildings? What do we want to see in this, newly healed portion of land? Sci-Tech City and affordable housing are the last two. So Sci-Tech City has, is something that the city, that the mayor's been excited about and talking about, and here it is there. So just so you understand where that is happening, there are some new renderings here. There's an article that was on Jersey Digs, but you can see I didn't make a typo. This is how they spell it, Sci-Tech City. But you can see where it is relative to the Science Center.
Eric,
So
there's also some upgrade going on at Liberty Science that they're not visualizing there. It's in the article, I think.
yes, 100%. So that's some exciting stuff as far as, education and technology-oriented education that we are going to be seeing here in Jersey City. So that's really great. Affordable housing. Oh, right. So that's simply to say that the ordinance passed. I encourage everyone to kind of look at it, understand it. I feel like it's the kind of thing where, you may have seen that there was some opposition to it on the city council level. Some went so far as to call it a sellout to developers because they were allowing them to have such a buyout option, right? Like, no, I don't want to build, affordable housing for you, so I'm just going to put some money in a pot. It's what New York City does. Developers can buy out of it. Developers can also in New York City build affordable housing somewhere else. So, it's not perfect. I do think it was the right thing to get something, legislated and started, but I think we should keep our eye on it and try to, get this to have a little bit more teeth, let's say, so, for developers, because, we certainly know the majority of developers that we see, there are some good, some bad, but, if given the opportunity to not build affordable housing when they can be getting, upwards of $900 a foot to sell the units, they're probably going to do that. So let's just keep an eye on that. All right, I'm going to stop talking for a while now. Thank you, Commissioner, for joining us. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to show the Hudson County logo with your name. Congratulations. We're happy to have you. I want you to say whatever you'd like to say. I do think it would be interesting to sort of tell us, what is your role, and that's it. I'm done.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you, everybody else, and good evening, everyone. As most of you know, my name is Yraida Aponte-Lipski, and I'm immigrant from Dominican Republic. I've been here for quite a while, and it's a pleasure. I feel really good because I think you're the first group that I'm talking to, so that's very exciting. And to tell you, what I am about and what I would like to do, of course, with the help of everybody, especially, the other freeholders, which pretty soon will be commissioner. They will change the name, as some of you know already. And as I say, I came to this country. I went to school. As everybody else, want to have a dream, to do something and be productive and help your community. And I became a dental hygienist. And then after that, I went to get my bachelor, and I did my bachelor in biology. Then, I waited a little bit longer. So I went for my master, which is in public health. So right now I'm a professor in a dental hygiene school, right now in the heart of Journal Square, which is near to my house. It's very convenient. And I've been always, involved with the community together with my husband. Maybe some of you know that he's a former councilman in Journal Square. So we always been helping and doing, our best to serve the people of Jersey City, especially in Journal Square area. And now, so I'm expanding more to downtown and also the Heights. And it's been a privilege a privilege for me to help and to educate people in different, way. And I also know a little bit about you. I know you being over quite a while, the village, and but it's like 13 years that you're really been working and helping your community, which I admire, and I really, feel, good about it when people help others. And I also very excited. I don't know, some of you are a woman, became first woman, became a vice president of United States of America. Is
Woohoo!
Yoo-hoo! So, and I'm really for that. I really would like to get more women involved now that I am. And so like that you really will know me, how I am, and very, humble and down to earth and common and as anybody else. And I am who I am, and I'm telling you, as it is. That's the way I was raised. That's the way I am. So it's very exciting, like I say, and I want people involved. I don't want to just, the name. I want everybody throughout the whole Hudson County and also especially District 4, which are you guys. So I really, appreciate, you open your door for me. So I really want to work together. And when I went to you clean up, it was very exciting. My husband and myself, we were cleaning up, and met Evelyn, very, joyful and welcoming person. And we said, yeah, let's get together. And I want to start working. I just don't want to, be calling, freeholder or, whatever. And she said, yeah, it's exciting. And she started telling me things that are concerned to you. And that's why I wanted, hear from you to see how we could work together and see if we could alleviate some of your concerns. And one of them is that led from dropping from the turnpike, and it's really, kind of bothersome, because there are children around those areas. And I said to her, we want to, let's work together. Let's see, what we could do and to make things happen. She also talked to me about a little bit, give a little bit of the background about the county government. And it's really freeholder or commissioner, the way they want to call it now, is like a legislative branch specific for the county government. It's like the mayor with the with the council people. So we work with the county executive, which is Tom DeGees, and we oversee a lot. So I kind of jacked down some of the stuff because it's a lot. I thought it wasn't that many, but like more of that section, the county clerk's office, which have to do with elections, weddings, notary public, and county park, county school, county register, which those are, documents, and Office of Culture and Heritage Affairs, and Departments of Corrections, Department of Family Services, Department of Finance, Division of Planning, and also Division of Housing, Community Development, Office of Emergency Management, Office of Business Opportunity, and also we do public bids and competitive contracts, and the Sheriff's Office, surrogate courts, which is, to process wills, and it's a lot. So I didn't even know myself that is too many things, involved in the county government. So we, all the 9 freeholders, or soon called commissioners, we oversee all that. So, and if you have any question, you could just ask, and I could try to help you as much as I can. Like I said to Evelyn, we all going to learn together and we all going to work together. That's the only time, the only way we're going to get things done. I'm thinking, that's my thinking. And as some of you know, also my platform, what I was, working on and I want to work on is, because I've been working also on that, is open space, senior citizen, vocational school, social justice, and also homelessness, mental health. So I'm all for that. And I really, would like to start working on all those things that I, was talking about during my campaign. And there is anything else that
I do have some questions that are popping up in the chat, Yraida, if you don't mind me asking.
remember, I don't have my computer, so with my husband's computer, I don't know where I am.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Can't do anything.
So there's a question about the boundary of your district, which I know to be Harsimus, portions of Journal Square.
Yes.
Can you just talk a little bit about the boundaries of your district?
Okay.
District
So
4.
I have, what I live right now is, I don't know if you know, they call the Little Indian. So it's right by White Castle,
Yep.
Journal Square area. Okay. But
Newest pedestrian plaza, right?
oh, yeah. I'm trying to bring things to Journal Square, guy. You have a lot of things going on over there. Let's bring something to Journal Square.
Yes.
So then you see the from Kennedy Boulevard to the White Castle is all another freeholder. Then from Journal Square and where I live, which is Newark Avenue, is the District 4. Then we go to the Heights.
Right.
And to find this Brisky Street. I don't know if you know the Heights much. Central Avenue.
Sure.
And the slopes, those areas. And then it's a little weird the way they break it down. Then I'm going to the Heights. To you guys, to E. Which in E, there is also weird because there's Jerry Walker. There is also Freeholder Romano and myself that cover, E.
I see.
So that helps a little bit.
Yeah, that helps a little bit. That helps a lot. Thank you. A couple more questions I'm just going to read. Any investment in the county parks in Jersey City?
Okay. Like I say, I'm just getting there now, but I know a little bit about a few things, not a lot. The park that is in a project right now, that's what you're trying to find out, parks, right?
Yeah, it's twofold. I'll just let you know. So as far as investing in Jersey City infrastructure projects, if you will, one is relative to county parks and the other is relative to county roads, like JFK Boulevard.
There is, that I saw that they fixing JFK, which is great because it was really bad. And in terms of park right now, they're going to have by the courthouse. I don't know if you know that they're going to turn that down and they're going to have a park in there. So far, that's in terms of park, that's I know right now.
Got it. Thank you. And then I'm sorry, I should know what this question means, but I don't. So again, I'm just going to read it. When is the sheriff sales resuming?
The sheriff?
Sales, yes.
Yeah.
Was that? Shai, are you there? Can you elaborate on that? I'm sorry, I don't know what.
Yes, hi. I understand
Hi.
that the sheriff sales, the auctions are based on the Hudson County. So I know the courts are kind of closed. I would like to know if they're resuming or they're continuing or not continuing. I know people that the houses are in foreclosure because now it's very difficult to cannot pay
You
the
mean
mortgages.
property taxes?
Foreclosures on property.
Yeah, property,
Yes.
foreclosure property. That's what you mean.
Yes.
Okay. So like I say, I'm honest with you guys. I'm not even there yet. I'm getting wet and getting information as they come. Right now, I cannot vote for anything. and I cannot, do anything because I'm not there yet.
Well, so it's probably good for you to hear the kinds of things that we're interested in, right? That certainly doesn't hurt. I think we're totally aligned with you in your passion for open space and mental health issues. So good for those of you to ask these questions. Thank you.
Yeah, no. And like I said, I want to work with you guys because I don't know really the need. I don't know what is the problem. You can bring it up. And then
So Commissioner, did you say that Ward E is not completely within your jurisdiction? You said part of Ward E is within your jurisdiction? Or can you clarify that?
Part of it. You know what? That person that talking about the foreclosure, that person who emailed me, sorry, Evelyn, the person who emailed me, and then we could discuss more if I find more information for you, okay? So let me give you my email address, okay?
Okay.
It's Aponte-Lipski, number 4, freeholder@gmail.com.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Okay, Evelyn. Yeah, no, you're right. I'm not the only one in E. It's freeholder Romano and freeholder Jerry Walker and myself.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I guess because we're in the village, what can you do? Like these are, I guess, we don't have any county parks or county roads in the village, but what can you assist us with within the village neighborhood?
Yeah,
boundary?
as you were talking to me, remember about the turnpike, the lead in that area that is dropping.
Yes.
So that I could really will do my best. And like I said, once I'm there, I will be more, involved, and I will be more able to help you guys to see what we could do to alleviate the problem. Hopefully we could solve it, but at least to alleviate the problem.
Thank you.
I don't know what is being done so far.
The paint's been cleaned, but sometimes there's I guess the main problem now is just water runoff, right? Storm water runoff from the stanchions more than the lead at this point.
Okay, now it's more the water. Okay. And like I said, Evelyn, we could gonna keep the conversation, and you email me or I email you. And once I'm there, we're gonna be able to, get together and talk more in detail about really how we could address what is going on with the water.
All right. Are there any other questions? Well, Yraida, I thank you so much for your time. It's really nice to meet you. I mean, I have to say, I've loved the Zoom format because it's allowed, more people to join, but it sort of makes moments like these a little anticlimactic, like meeting a new person of your stature in person. But it's wonderful to meet you, and I thank you for your time. You are more than welcome to stay on. We are going to go into the next segment of our agenda, which is talk about a couple of development projects, which you have been a breath of fresh air because it seems like that's all we do.
Thank you so much, Eric. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you, Evelyn, for setting that up.
Yeah, and just email me, any question.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, all. So the last two pieces, the first one is relative to the Brunswick Lofts, which, as you know, is the lawsuit that we had filed up against the zoning board. And just to give this some context for those of you that may not recall or don't remember it as well, the application for the Brunswick Lofts was the very first request for variance in the R5. So, as you know, we worked for years tirelessly. This even predated me, but certainly not members of our board, to work with planning, to work with developers, work with the city, to fix the R1 district, which was, really an antiquated district for many areas, many portions of Jersey City, 1 and 2 family houses, right? And so what was happening is variances were just getting rubber stamped, so to speak, and we were seeing 5, 6-story buildings just routinely getting approved. So, the R5 was a real effort. It was a compromise, 100% across the board. It was a compromise, right? Like, developers wanted more, we wanted probably less. So we, as the Village Neighborhood Association are, going to fight for the sanctity of the R5, if you will, across the board. And so this was the first height variance, right? And it was literally like the R5 took effect. It's 4 stories, as you know, it's 3/1. And here came this proposal for the old Intracoso. Good night, sweetie. I love you. I'll be in. For the old Intracoso funeral home. And it was a 5-story proposal. And it got in front of the zoning board, and there went the rubber stamp, got approved. So, really kind of earth-shattering in a way, because I think we all had hoped things would somehow be different, and they just simply weren't. So what prompted us to, go to litigation on this one, bye, honey. I love you. I'll be in. Yes, I will give you love. Sorry. What prompted us to, we were going to fight this no matter what, right? And we were disappointed that we didn't get, that it did just get so easily approved. But the very next morning, the next application for a height variance in the R5 came through, right? So it was obvious that everybody was watching this. All eyes were on this. We were, like I said, we were going to do this anyway, but it's kind of like we had to, right? Because otherwise it was just all those years of work were just going to get thrown out, because everything was just going to go back to the way it was. So we filed a case, and we've been, fighting it ever since. Now, the unfortunate reality of that case is, because the zoning board did approve the project, we didn't really have a great legal argument, but we kept on it and delayed them significantly. So as you may have seen in, I think, Jersey Digs, that the lawsuit has ended, and we've ultimately lost our final appeal on that case. So what we understand from our legal counsel is that yes, they can now build that 5-story building. And if you recall, the 5th story was set back. I mean, they were working with us to try to make it a good building. So it's not a sheer wall of 5 stories. It's really not an awful building, but this was about setting the precedent and allowing the floodgates to open, if you will, for more developments like this to just get that extra story. So so that building had a setback 5th floor. It had parking. That's the building that is currently approved. That's the building that will be built. Our legal counsel also mentioned to me that she believes that the entirety of it is on the market, meaning yet again, an approved development site would be sold, and somebody else would come in and build per those approved plans. So it might be a little while, but at least they did clean up the site. They did the full demolition. It's no longer, an eyesore with bricks falling out of the windows. So just so you're aware, it might be like that for a little while. Anybody want to make a comment on that one? We tried. Okay, so 201 Newark Ave is, all right, so let me just go. I want to show you this just because I want you to understand what's being proposed. 201 Newark Ave is the old Capital One Bank at the corner of Jersey and Newark Ave, right? It is not a building that is on the National Register of Historic Places. Okay, so from that perspective, they could knock the thing down. Now, as you know, Jersey City has changed the way in which they review demolition applications, and they've changed it with a slant toward historic preservation. So maybe if there would be a fight there. The building has stamped proudly on its base 1928. And as we were discussing in our board meeting ahead of time, if you just kind of walk by that every day and don't really look, you don't realize the just unbelievably ornate detailing that it has. But if you stop and look at that, and even the stonework has this like lattice work quality to it, it's just really phenomenally beautiful. And so there's a proposal for a hotel at that site. So that's in the NC district. You're allowed 64 feet in height in the NC district. You are not allowed a hotel as a usage in the NC district, so they're looking for a use variance. They were looking for a whopper of a height variance, which is why I want to show this to you. And there are a couple other sort of administrative bits to the variances that they're requesting, but the biggest one is really relative to the height of the building. They presented to Van Voorst Park. The building sits in Harsimus Cove, right? That's the NA that this building is in. They, to my knowledge, have not yet presented to Harsimus Cove. We had collectively told them you need to do that, but they presented to Van Voorst first. And when they presented to us, they also presented to the Saffron Board, because this building abuts the Saffron, which is 217 Newark Ave with Bambino Chef in the base. You all know it. And so the presenter was their architect and the family that is the owner operator. They seemed like really sweet people. I've looked at their website and their photos and some of their other sites, and they clearly know what they're doing. They operate all of their boutique hotels, and they have a few other type spaces as well. But in any event, what we saw was a little bit jarring in terms of the height that they were seeking. And they sort of alluded to the fact that, they were asked to preserve the bank. And so I need to confirm this, and we'll, be able to post an update for all of you when we can. But it sounded like they may have presented a building that knocked the bank down and was more within the realm of the 64 feet that's allowed. And then when asked to preserve it, they just took all the stuff and put it on top of the existing bank. Because the bank shell, as they put it, is not particularly conducive to a hotel use. So you ready? I'm wondering, can you guys even see the little tiny preview on my screen? Okay, there it is. Okay, so this is what was presented to us. We need to follow up with planning. We are, going to write our own letter based on that presentation that talks about how we feel about this as a design. Certainly the Saffron, which you can see right here as a 76 unit building, which is sort of C-shaped. It's kind of got a wedge, and they have a courtyard in the center of the Saffron. This building does the same. It sort of, mirrors their courtyard. So you get rooms here, you get rooms here, and you get rooms in the backside, and then there's a carve in the center. And that was I'm going to call it thoughtful, but sort of just like way short of the mark move to make for the residents of the Saffron, because they have a courtyard that is basically at grade here. They are 64 feet, so they are at what is allowable. This building, as proposed, is 108 feet in height. That last the last number, the last story, if you will, isn't really a story. So the actual height would end up being somewhere around 98. There's an egress corridor that they're building that makes this building 108 feet. But in any event, 64 feet to 108, that is not an insignificant variance request. This is the building that we were presented. They basically said, in order for us to push some of the hotel functions down into this, it would be incredibly difficult. Yada, 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 right? So that's sort of the typical argument. So they made it seem like it was, mutually exclusive. The issues were mutually exclusive, which I don't believe them to be. I mean, as an architect myself, I believe this to be a design problem. I don't think you need to put the entirety of the hotel room program, all the keys, on the top. But that's where they are. This is where it is. This is nowhere as far as going in front of a board or going anywhere for approval. They are testing the waters. They're doing the right thing. They're going to the neighborhood association because this is a big deal, right? As I mentioned to our board earlier, if you stand on the rooftop, Saffron has a roof deck that's here on the western edge. If you stand on that and you look in all directions, 360 degrees, there isn't a building anywhere close that reaches this height. And one of the Saffron board members is also an architect, and he did a shadow study model, which basically showed what, certainly I knew, and I know their architect knew, but sort of just wouldn't admit. And I mean, I get why, but this completely buries the Saffron courtyard, and not just the courtyard, but they have units. There are some units that face Newark Ave here, So that right there corner is the first condo that my wife and I bought in Jersey City. They have units that face Newark, and they have units that face that courtyard. And those units would be in shadow for a very good portion based on the height of this. So again, no action here. Just wanted you guys to be in a loop. I did manage to take some screenshots. This has not been officially shared with us, but you know, it's a presentation. They told us we would get it. I still don't have it, but these are screenshots I took while the architect was presenting. So this is the ground floor plan. So here at the bottom is Jersey Ave, and this is Newark Ave here. Okay. The parking lot of the bank is basically all of this. So they're still doing parking there at grade. These are stackers. They're these kind of automatic systems that they can stack 5 cars. It's a pretty impressive system. They're quite efficient. But in any event, oh my God, I'm just seeing the chat. Ugly and tiny, and do we need a hotel? Yeah, all good questions. All good questions. So here is, let's see, the section of the building which shows you that if you can see my cursor, this is the volume of the bank. So the bank is basically where you see kitchen and restaurant. That's the volume of the bank today. All of this is the parking lot. So they would just extend that further back. They have all, you can see the 5 car, the stackers for 5 cars are here. Everything would be valet parking. They squeezed some admin functions in there, things that don't require light and air. And then there's a swimming pool and a gym and a deck, and all of that is, you know, contained within the volume of the bank. The main lobby is like a sky lobby. So you come in on the street. So I'm going to go back to the left in this here. You come in off the street, and there's just, you know, sort of, you know, pretty flooring and 2 elevators to get you up to the sky lobby, and then the stair that will bring you up into the mezzanine level of the, that will bring you up if you chose into the lobby level. I don't have that next floor plan. I wasn't quick enough on the draw to get a screenshot, but this is a restaurant where the bank is today. The mezzanine for the bank is here. This is the existing, this is the stair of the bank. So they would keep all of that and turn that into restaurant function. The only issue that, you know, I had with this is they just basically took it upon themselves to take all of the hotel program and put it on the roof. So you end up with a 108-story building. So you can see what I was talking about. Here's that blank facade where there's a fire stair, there's a corridor running. There aren't rooms on that level. This is the level between the 98 and the 108. And I just wanted to share that with you. That's all, because it was, you know, rather, like I said, jarring. I won't editorialize on the design. I will say that they did some nice things relative to preserving the historic nature of the bank. So like you can see how these windows have been sort of cut off here. They've taken that beautiful ornate metal and brought it out to the street level here. So they can have a little kind of courtyard outdoor space in the front that the restaurant could spill out into. So the sidewalk would lessen. It's a very wide sidewalk at that point. And then of course they're still showing city bikes. This is, you know, becomes the main entrance, but you can imagine how the Saffron board felt about this proposal. They were none too thrilled. And so we're going to help them and just write our letter based on what we saw in that initial design proposal, which is to say that, you know, the absurdity of a variance that, you know, is 75% in it, additional height as to what is allowed without providing any semblance of demonstrable rural community benefit is just not acceptable. You know, we asked, oh, what's the benefit to the community? They very earnestly said, well, we were thinking of letting the Saffron board members come and use the pool, and, you know, everybody could come in and use the Wi-Fi in the hotel. It's like, whoa, dude. I'm not giving you, I'm not giving you 48 feet so I can go use your Wi-Fi. But more to come on that. Any comments on that from anyone? Were you all as shocked as I am, or no? You all have thicker skin than me, and you're just like, yep, this is what developers do. I see nods. Okay. All right. So that's really the bulk of what we wanted to cover tonight. These are the virtual meeting updates. Again, you don't have to read or remember everything that's here. Just want to remind you that, you know, when you go to the main website for the city, which of course is jerseycitynj.gov. You just scroll down to here, and the next meeting on the calendar usually is what's right here, which is the council caucus meeting, wherein they set the agenda for the council meeting. And then you just click on that button right there that says view full calendar, and you see where I get all of my information. These are the meetings that are coming up. So the planning board's meeting tomorrow night. ZBA is meeting on the 12th. There's a special meeting for the planning board on the 17th, and then the planning board again on the 24th. The ZBA, that's now into December. That's it. I'm done talking. If there's anything anybody else would like to say, by all means, now's the time.
Hey, Eric, this is Jim. How are you?
Jim, I'm well.
So I came late to the meeting. I'm sorry, but did you mention at the beginning of the meeting about the embankment annual meeting?
No, I did not.
Okay, so the Embankment Coalition is having their annual autumn meeting Wednesday, November 18th at 7 p.m. And I think that would be something that everybody should be interested in.
Yeah, 100%, Jim. It totally slipped my mind. Thank you for bringing that up. We will post this on the website, or maybe even send a blast on it, because I agree that's important information.
Okay, I'll send something. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else pick up something major like that I totally missed tonight? No? All right. Well, listen, thank you everyone for your time. It's always a pleasure. I enjoy these formats. I enjoy these meetings. This one is particularly exciting for me because last month, right before the end of the meeting, I almost made a comment that was to say, hey, you know, by the time we meet next time, we may have a new president. And it turns out we still technically don't, but anyway, I'm glad I didn't jinx it.
How about we say congrats to Evelyn on getting her initiative passed?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Robinson, yes. Robinson, wonderful. Congratulations on the arts referendum. Huge win, really wonderful.
Thank you for everyone who voted.
You
You're the
guys
best.
rock.
We love you.
Yay.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
I
you.
gotta go kiss my
Thanks,
girls.
guys.
Good night. Take care.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks,
Thank you, Yraida.
Thank you, VNA.
Eric,
Yep.
Y'all doing a good job.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I just want to say something. I was just looking at that person that was asking about the foreclosure.
Oh, yeah.
There is a phone number also that the person wants to call is 201-795-6300, extension 7315.
Okay, thank you very much.
You got that, Shia? All right, cool.
Yes,
Okay.
thanks.
You are
Excellent.
very welcome.
See,
Good
you're already
night,
paying dividends,
Eric.
Yraida. Thank you.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much.
All right, everyone. Have a great
Good
evening.
night, everyone.
Bye
Thank
all.
you. Good night. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.